It's Sctv Week 3 with Caleb Geer, Sophie Reese, and Katie Burns. Good evening, and welcome back to Sctv, Simpson College's first student-run weekly newscast. I'm Sophie Reese.
And I'm Caleb Geer, stepping in for Ethan Humble this week. It's great to be here.
It's great to have you, Caleb. On to our first story this week. Check out this mentoring program on campus that pairs students with alumni.
Our very own Katie Burns has a story.
In its sixth year, the Alumni Mentorship Program is underway. The history of success and given potential for students for a better future. Andy English, the Director of Alumni Relations, started the program in 2016. The start of the program just fills out a simple survey that talks about your interests and career paths you wish to devour.
So what is great about the program, at least I believe, is that students will sign up and they will fill out a form that gives me some insight into who they are as a person, what they are looking for in the mentorship program, and then also their desired field of study or career.
The goal of the program is for alumni to have a chance to develop teaching skills, as well as provide students with another resource for career development.
We're very deliberate about how to set those goals. What opportunities are we going to hopefully expose and offer that student during that 1 year period that will set them up to get that dream job in the future.
Once the program is over, some people tend to think mentors and mentees don't keep in contact.
Most of the relationships, the partnerships don't end when the formal time frame ends for the mentorship. Most of our mentors and mentees will continue that relationship in an informal type process after it officially ends.
In the program, English wants alumni to be a source to students to discuss their highs going on in life, but also maybe some lows they are dealing with.
We want that alumni mentor to be a peer to the student and be there to help celebrate successes and also to navigate challenges, because there are many challenges that come up that students don't know what those challenges are going to be, but we want them to have a relationship with this alumni mentor where they can reach out and say, hey, I had a bad day or had a tough test. Do you have any suggestions of how I move forward? I'm hoping that membership continues to grow. And I also hope that students that have had a mentor request a new mentor, because it's important to get different backgrounds and viewpoints from different alumni.
English also realized that the students are not the only ones impacted.
It's also a great opportunity for alums to be involved with Simpson in that way and to really make a mark and help our students achieve their goals.
The Alumni Mentorship Program will be accepting applications up till the end of September. For SCTV, Katie Burns.
Great work, Katie. Seems like a great organization to help out students.
Agreed. Foundations is yet another helping hand for students here on Simpson's campus.
Caleb has the video.
A lot of people have their opinions about foundations, which is required of every freshman. And unlike SC 101 in the past, foundations takes all year. Some people hate that, some people don't. I talked to a bunch of freshmen, and surprisingly, I found out that they don't mind foundations. They think foundations is beneficial. And a lot of the networking and opportunity to meet other freshmen, a lot of them enjoyed it. I was surprised.
I think foundations is a good thing. I really liked my class, and it was a great way, especially when we just first showed up, to build some community and meet some people. And now that we've gotten started, we're kind of focusing on civic engagement.
I like it. It's getting me adjusted to school a lot better. I'm definitely enjoying the extra hour of just being able to not have to go to class or sit in my dorm and study and just kind of not really chill out, but at least learn something productive that isn't, I guess, relatively a specific subject.
There's part of me that feels like if I was studying something that I chose to study, I could be getting more out of it. But at the same time, like, it is like a little bit applicable to life, because you're going to have to do things in life that you don't necessarily want to do at certain times in different careers. I will say that some of it is like, I don't really understand the point of some of it, but Overall, it's not bad.
I really like my professor, actually. He's really easy to access, he's easy to talk to. But other than that, the class itself's pretty easy. Because I've heard other people, their foundations classes are really hard. They've already done 3 assignments, have papers, quizzes, and we don't turn on our first assignment till October.
Getting used to it, learning, hopefully start learning about campus and getting ready for the real world, like Simpson College, and transitioning from high school to college, getting used to it.
I think the program's a good idea because it's a good way to get like freshmen together and get freshmen working together, because it's good to have those like first year connections. Like I met one of my closest friends in my foundations class, so I do appreciate the program in that sense. I do not feel like it has to be a whole year program. I feel like one semester's fine.
Foundations is no stranger to complaints, as we've seen in the past. But even though the program has improved, first years still have valid concern.
It's a little different. Never thought I would really be talking about Star Wars, but that's something I wasn't used to and starting to learn, I guess. It's like something I thought I'd learn in like 5th grade, but
I have heard like other people say that they have a ton of work in foundations and that they don't necessarily like it very much, but that's not really the case for my end.
I didn't like the book that we were all required to read, Palaces for the People. That was annoying and felt a little, it was very tedious. It was not an interesting book. I would have rather us jumped, because I'm in a conspiracy theories one, so I would have rather us just jumped right into that instead of having this whole few chapters of a book we had to read all together.
I must say, it is good to see this program headed in the right direction for once. But SC 101 gang for life. For Sctv, Caleb Geer.
Excellent work as always, Caleb.
Thanks, Sophie. Now on to sports.
Volleyball had their first home match of the season, but it took place at Indianola High School due to the renovations and Cowles Fieldhouse.
Katie Burns headed over to the high school and shot the highlights.
Simpson women's volleyball faced Luther last Wednesday, and because of renovations happening in Cowles, home matches will be at Indianola High School for the time being. Marissa Salber serves strong to Luther. Ball travels over the net. Luther goes up for the spike, and Salber gets the dig to Iman Galiba. Sets to Cameron McKay for the kill, which is blocked. Galiba recovers to Salber, which is set to Lexi Parks for the kill. Peyton Mitchell serves, Luther goes for the kill, and is blocked by Elizabeth Conroy and Autumn Finch for another point on Simpson's end. Galiba digs to Salber to set up for the kill for Jessica Jacobs, and Luther was not able to make it to that one, which made another point for Simpson. Iman gets another dig to Salber. She sets for McKay, and with the soft push, Luther tried to get a hold of it, and it is not accomplished. Reagan Shellgrand recovers the ball, sets to Salber, back to Jacobs, and makes the kill for the Storm. Strong offense and defense resulted in the Storm destroying Luther in 3 sets. For Sctv, Katie Burns.
A great win for Storm Volleyball.
Lots of wins this past week for the Storm. I myself attended the women's soccer game against Cohawks.
On a Saturday afternoon, this one was a high scorer. First goal of the game, Jordan Folsky gets in there, little side foot action, tucks it in there. Co's only score of the entire game is this high flyer from the 30-yard line. This one looking interesting, barely gets past the goalkeeper. That one goes to Megan Roberts. This one goes to Cassie, runs over the goalkeeper, just gets it in there. Co tries their best, can't do anything about it. That makes this game 3-1. Bring it up the field, passes it over to the middle, and that one goes to Megan Roberts, putting icing on the cake on this one, making it 4-1 Simpson women victory. This victory against Co marks the first ARC victory for Simpson women.
And that's another Storm win. Now on to their counterpart, men's soccer.
Dylan McChesney shot the highlights and had an interview with Coach Isaacson and Mateaus Lewis, who was recently announced as ARC Offensive Player of the Week.
Men's soccer taking on the Cohawks this last Saturday. Lots of shots on goal in this one. Not all of them fell. Similar fashion to the women's game. Baraka Ellie gets fouled, takes the penalty kick, gets it in there. Player of the game, Mateaus Lewis, gets one, and within 7 minutes, gets another. Corner kick by Baraka Ellie again, off the head of Ben Reynolds. Goal for him. Streaking up the field, rolls it in. Simpson men's soccer team reigns supreme over the Cohawks, 5-1 being the final score. After the game, Coach Isaacson and Mateaus Lewis were both available for post-game interviews.
We're pleased with the result, obviously. So anytime you win in our league, and our league is very competitive top to bottom, so anytime you're able to come away with 3 points, you should be pleased about that. So that was the primary objective heading into the game today, was we wanted to make sure we scratched out a win and got those 3 points so that we can stay at the top of the conference table.
It feels good. I couldn't do it without my teammates. I had tap-ins. They passed it to me. I was just in the right spot. Second goal, Allen had an open net and gave it to me. So I couldn't have done it without my teammates, really. And just to get our first win in conference and the conference opener is nice here at home.
Last Wednesday, the golf team hosted the Simpson Fall Invite. The men took home 2nd out of 8 teams, and the women finished 7th.
Men's soccer went on the road and beat St. Mary's 1-0.
The men's tennis team played in the ARC Individual Conference Tournament. Drake Downard, Aaron Price, and Zach Ambrose all collected wins, but didn't advance past the Sweet 16.
The football team dropped its conference opener to Co. 48-10.
And the women's golf team got 7th in the Nebraska Wesleyan Fall Invite.
That's going to be all from us here tonight.
We would like to thank Professor Siebert, Professor Carpinelli, Professor Steffen, and other faculty that make this newscast possible.
We will be back next week. Until then,
you stay classy, Simpson.
Before we go, we would like to dedicate this episode to Hope Renee Dykman and our SCTV News Director, Ethan Humble.
We send our thoughts and prayers to your family during this tough time.
SCTV would not be the same without you, Ethan. We love and support you always.